Hey gents, Handy Nasty here, and today I wanted to showcase and analyze the fight I had in the LA5 against the 109. It's a pretty long fight and it happened on patch 3.007 on the Knights of the Air server. And the Russian frontline airfield is under attack by German attackers and bombers, but I cannot go defend it as I have a 109 diving onto me. Um, I'm doing a lazy turn to the left to see what my pursuer is going to do, and I really think he's quite faster than me, so I decide to do a spiral climb in the supposition he's going to overshoot really fast. But he's not actually not that much faster than I am, so I really read the situation quite bad. And I'm quite lucky to just get hit a tiny bit. I also cut throttle like in a panic mode, so I do not even have the speed to go vertical behind him. So I dip my nose down and I get an eye on a 109 in my 12 o'clock, on 190. And I decide to take a head on because there is no way I can fight the 190 and 109 together. And I think the 190 is quite surprised I took him into a head on because I shot from quite far away and he didn't see, he seemed a bit clueless. And I got some good hits on his left wing and it falls off. So really in a head on it's only 2 seconds that matter. Meanwhile the 109 is closing in and as he approaches I start some evasive rolls like in the LA5. Just abuse your roll rate, that's the way to go. Try to make your pursuer overshoot. But the 109 is quite, he's not too eager, he's cutting his throttle a bit, and the rolls he performs to keep behind me are really pitch focused and not roll focused. And so as you can see, I pass like 150 meters in front of him, where like if he had kept his throttle high, I think I would have passed behind him. Now I dipped my nose down to gain back some speed because I do not want to be at low speed. And I'm heading east in the hope the 109 does not follow me, but he follows me. And he parks himself in my low 6 o'clock, which is quite smart because I have to weave left and right to keep an eye on him to see when he's going to pull up his nose to get a shot on me. In this case I only want to go in a straight line to get as fast as possible. So parking my low 6 o'clock is actually a good idea, I think. And as I see he's pulling his nose back up, I'm doing a slight negative G to avoid his shots. And here, as you can see, I'm once again back to rolling maneuvers to make myself a harder target. And because of our previous rolls, I really think the 109 is going to cut his throttle once again. And I'm quite happy with myself because I think I really read the situation quite well. Because as you can hear, the 109, when he sees my rolling evasive maneuvers, cut his throttle a bit. He's poking me from far away to make me maneuver, but I'm just pulling slight negative Gs, slight turns to keep my speed up while avoiding this line of fire. And as you can see, the 109 is not catching up and actually the distance between ourselves is increasing. So I'm really happy how I read the situation. And as you can see now, I'm just going in a straight line because the LA5 is faster on deck than a 109 in combat mode. So I'm just tinkering with my pitch and radiator settings to go as fast as possible, and I'm going at 630 kph. And then suddenly I get a decent MG burst into me, and I'm quite astonished, as you can hear, because I thought like we were at a quite far distance and he wouldn't be able to poke me like that. So I decide to weave once again to keep an eye on him. And also the 109 is starting to boost, as you can see by the contrails he's emitting. So these two things combined is going to make him going to catch up. He's trying to poke me with MG shots, which I think is unnecessary. But as the distance closes, as I start my evasive maneuvers to avoid his line of fire, the 109 is going to point his nose upward, so I think he's just going vertical, and I go vertical behind him, but he completely tricks me and the 109 is not really going that vertical, and I once again end up in front of his guns. From my point of view, I really think he's going vertical, so I want to go vertical behind him to get a firing solution, and I'm quite astonished that I end up once again in front of his guns. And by the time the 109 is in front of my guns, I'm just too slow to effectively fire. So I fire some shots, but those are really random shots with no chance of hitting. And as my nose slams back down, I end up in a spin like a noob actually, so it's quite bad. The 109 is on top of his loop and is descending back down onto me. And I really think he's making a mistake because he should put his throttle to 0. Now the speed differential between he and I is just too great, so I do a Hartman roll, followed by a second Hartman roll just to avoid his line of fire, and he overshoots. Once again I'm going to go vertical behind him, but I do not have the speed. He's going to go vertical climb, make himself a hard target, and my shots go far and wide. This time I do not make the mistake of going too high, and I just dip my nose down on time. And once again the 109 just does not cut his throttle, and I think that's a mistake because I'm at really low speed. I cannot do anything if he hadn't cut his throttle. To avoid his line of fire I do one Hartman roll and then a second Hartman roll, and you can see how effective these Hartman rolls are to avoid his line of fire. Now the 109 goes vertical quite badly, and I think that's because I went vertical twice behind him, so he's kinda scared I'm going vertical once again, but I just dip my nose down. And I want to grab some. Oh, I know I won't be able to outrun him, he has more altitude and thus he will be able to catch up to me, but I want to be at a comfortable speed, and that is like 500 kph plus in the LA5. I really feel comfortable at 500 kph plus. Once again I have to go evasive, but this time I see that the 109, when I'm turning to the right, he is not quite following, he's fully expecting me to turn back left, so I add a vertical component to my evasive action, so first upward and then downward, to avoid his line of fire, because I'm really afraid he's going to anticipate my maneuvers. Once again we end up in a barrel roll, and I end up in front of him, so I have to do a negative G to avoid his line of fire. And now the 109 does, I think, another mistake. He goes back vertical quite badly, allowing me a chance to do a shallow dive and pick up some speed. I really think he could have been like really much more aggressive and turn into me. And so we're back to square one, like on the deck at 500 kph. He's behind me and he's trying to catch up to me. I'm becoming a bit desperate because I kinda used every trick in the book concerning rolls, and as you can see the 109 is anticipating me. When I turn to the right he's not fully following me because he expects me to turn back to the left, which is what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is do a maneuver which I didn't do before. I'm just going to cross in front of his guns, and as you can see the 109 shoots like 1 second late, so I took him by surprise, which is what I aimed for. So from my point of view, the 109 is behind me, I'm turning to the right, and you can see that he isn't following my turn, so his nose is pointing to the left of me. I'm doing just a Hartman roll to make myself a harder target, and then I cross in front of his guns. And he shoots 1 second late. This time the 109 goes vertical, and I have enough speed to go vertical behind him, so when he crosses my crosshair I shoot and I get a hit, but I don't know whether it's a critical hit or not. Now my subsequent shots, I'm too slow so I can't aim properly and I just miss. Now a third person view allows us to see that actually I got 2 hits and not only 1. Now those doesn't seem to be crucial hits, and as you can see my subsequent shots like go nowhere. Like previous times I went vertical, I dived back down to get some speed back in case the 109 went aggressive on me, but the 109 desist and head back to base. Now as you can see I'm going to zoom on the 109, and it seems he has some holes kinda everywhere, so maybe his engine is slightly damaged and maybe he has some trouble keeping the plane upright, but it seems it's still fly worthy, but maybe not combat worthy. But that's fine by me to desist because I've had a fuel leak for quite a while and I just want to land. Now this is the end of this quite long dogfight. Finally it ended in a draw as we both managed to land, and this is it for this fight. See you guys next time.